We're here.
I wish I could give this feeling. I wish I could give this feeling. On the corner.
What up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Corner Pay podcast on Patreon. Joining words here. It's great, man. We enjoy everyone for listening on Patreon. You guys are the best. Shout out to everyone who subscribes. Corner Club in the building. Corner Club OGs. You guys are extra special. We're going to be doing giveaways for you guys very shortly just to show our support, getting stuff together. Those are going to be really fun. Hop in the Discord, talk some shit during the pay-per-view going down this weekend when we're watching AEW together as a family. We just commented on some UFC stuff from last weekend, so that was really fun. Everyone get in there. Let's chop it up. Talk to us. It's part of it. You guys spending your money, come through, talk to us. Let's have fun in there. Some big things popping, though. Producer Cole Bebe has hit me up. He's going to be jumping on board a lot more often, so he'll be in the Discord. He is fixing some stuff up for me on the Patreon and implementing some cool ideas on there. He's going to be helping out with the social clips and everything else. So my guy has a little bit more time, and he was like, you know what? The corner is calling me. So producer Cole Bebe is going to be making this his home for everyone on Patreon. So make sure you guys, again, shout out to him, but make sure you guys hold up your end as well. Get your money's worth and engage. It's going to be really, really fun over the next couple of months. Dre, today, we just did a hip-hop show last week. Today, honestly, I wanted to come in here and shoot the shit because someone on Twitter, shout out to Danny Sanders, was like, yo, there's so much random shit going on that y'all got to talk about. Can we just have a random shit episode? I said, say less. Two things they suggested that I was like, yeah, bet. It's in our wheelhouse. He was like, it's combat sports, right? I was like, yeah. He's like, y'all going to talk about old ass Busta Rhymes fighting in the club, right? I was like, hell yeah, we are. He's like, you're going to talk about Cam Newton fighting 7 people with one arm in a top hat, right? Hell yeah, we are. Dre, celebrities fighting is not a new thing. What's your favorite celebrity fight that you've seen throughout the years? Or fighting-esque moment? And then we'll get to Cam, then we'll get to Bus. I know mine off top. And I can only talk about it on Patreon. So nothing gets better. And it wasn't even a fight. But the Jay-Z smush is the best shit ever. Just open palm when he's walking through, smushes the person's face into the wall. And at that moment, no one's tried to fight Jay-Z since. And at this point, I was like, oh, that's wildly disrespectful. He got a big-ass paw. No one's fighting him. So I was like, Jay-Z ain't going to fight. Chris Brown allegedly fought Puff in the club. So did Drake, I believe.
Yes.
There's certain people in rap and shit that you can test. I feel like when you look at it, Busta Rhymes isn't someone I'm testing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not post-HGH Busta, by the way.
One, I can't think. I've worked in the industry too long, and I've seen too many fights, and I'm trying to think, who have I seen fight in real life? And I can't.
Besides award shows, because you've clearly seen people fight at award shows.
Yes, I've seen fights at award shows. I've seen fights in clubs.
See Rick Ross fight.
No, Rick Ross destroying DJ Vlad. I was at a restaurant up the street. And I got told it when it happened. And I was like, oh, and I went back. And yeah. Somewhere on one of my old computers, I still have the lawsuit that DJ Vlad sent me. We sued Rick Ross and started DJ Vlad.
He won?
Hell yeah, he won. That was an assault. Hell yeah, that was assault. That was damages. Like DJ Vlad, his existence was permeated from that beatdown.
Taking ass with. It's worth it.
But I don't know, like messing with Busta Rhymes in the club just seems weird to me. Like
we were just at the party with Bus here, and
with Shaheem, my boy Shaheem Reed. And I didn't even ask Shaheem if he was at that fight, but it said Busta Rhymes in the flip mode squad, and I was
he
like,
was at that fight, like it was.
I know, right? Like, was he there?
Were you at the fight? Like Eddie Hearn promoted?
I'll text Shaheem and find out. He's a CEO of Conglomerate Records with Busta. It's my boy, longtime journalist. But yeah, so I don't know, but when I first saw it popped up on my feed, it was like Busta Rhymes in the flip mode squad, and I was like, Lord have mercy's there?
Yeah.
Like, that was the first thing I thought. I was like, Rampage the last Boy Scout? Like Rod Digger, Spliff Star pulling up? Like
Rod Digger tweeted, she was like, Flip Mode is at home sleep.
Yeah, I was
this
like,
must be the conglomerate. I was
Lord have. Like, Lord have mercy, he's have the craziest voice. Lord have. Sword slash. I was like, if he's fighting, what's up then? Like, if I saw him fight, I ain't fighting that fool. Like, and it said it was like some young rapper. Like, y'all, man, listen, man.
It's always the young kids. We're talking about Cam. It's always the young one.
Y'all gotta stop disrespecting the OGs, man. Because, like, that's the thing. Like, young people shoot because they don't know how to fight. Old people shoot because they don't feel like fighting. It's very different.
But if you want to throw hands.
Yeah, we could throw them.
They grew up throwing hands. Young people ain't grow up throwing hands. Kids don't fight no more.
But
this ain't Twitch. This ain't Xbox Live. Like, you don't got no hands.
Like, what are you trying to accomplish fighting Busta Rhymes? Nobody's going to look at you as a better man because of it.
Yeah, I guess you go a little viral still.
Like, but nobody's going to say, man, I need to buy your album. No. You fought Busta Rhymes. What? This was stupid.
And by footage, it doesn't look like you won.
No, man. It's like, what was he mad because Busta Rhymes wouldn't listen to his demo or something shit like that? Listen to my SoundCloud. Busta's like, get that out of here.
Kids don't even have demos straight.
Yeah, no, my SoundCloud, whatever.
Follow me on TikTok.
Yeah, they don't have demos. They just make music.
That's
bad.
Follow me on TikTok.
Yeah, I ain't following shit.
That'd
probably get me in a fight. If I'm at a club, somebody's like, yo, follow me on TikTok. Oh, I ain't following shit. You throw hands at me, we fighting.
That's how I knew I was old. The other day, I'm watching like YouTubes with my daughter, and girl said this shit casually. Some girl's telling a story about a dude who she thought looked good, walked up to her in the club, and she was like, yeah, we were talking, we were hitting it off. So he asked for my socials, and I gave it to him. And I was like, yo.
That's what we doing?
People don't give phone numbers anymore.
Yeah, he must be.
You just open a phone, like, yo, give me your Instagram or your Snapchat. They just exchange socials.
I ain't doing that.
I was like, yo, my mind is blown. You don't even get numbers. They don't know the carrying the pen in the pocket with a piece of paper, actually getting digits. You lose the paper, your whole night's wrecked.
Yeah, man. Or if you get it written on your hand and you smudge your hand, like,
oh, that's tough.
Is that a 2? I'll just dial it anyway. Like, give it a shot, see who answers. But nah, man, the social shit is crazy.
Exchanging socials. So these young kids they don't have a sense of reality.
No, but that's the problem. The social media has made it, again, I say it all the time, the degrees of separation are smaller. So you feel like you can touch Busta Rhymes and you go try to touch Busta Rhymes. And then you fuck around and find out.
Yeah.
So
when fucking people think you get stopped out by Flip Mode Squad.
The Flip Mode? Like, yo, I was like, who said this? Like, who was out here, like, yo.
At a French Montana party.
That's the other thing. I mean, I guess I get it. I wouldn't be.
French Montana album release party. I'm just happy he's releasing an album.
I'm not.
It's not your.
That's not interested. Another mac and cheese? Sure. Look, man, I probably said it before, and I'll probably say too much, but I remember the day they told me to interview French Montana for XXL, and I was like, all right. This is before French became French for the Show Improve section. And they sent me the music, and I was like, oh, this isn't good.
I probably liked all those songs.
You probably did. I did not. And they were like, well, you going to interview him? And I was like, don't you want to give it to somebody else that actually likes this? No. We think you can do it justice. All right. So I wrote it, and they hit me, and it was like, can you make him sound better? All right. I'll use different adjectives. I used some different adjectives. They sent it back to me again. You got to make him sound better. I was like, he's fucking not. All right. So what do you want me to do?
Lie.
And I was like, he's a nice guy. Like, I don't want to say, like, he's not a bad person. Like, we had a good, like, he gave me his phone number, was like, call me anytime. And I was like, man, this sucks. I've listened to your music. I don't like it. Like, this ain't going any further than this. And it was just like, make him sound good. And I was like, I can't.
That debut album ended up being fire, though.
To who? Not to me.
You're front on the debut album.
Frontin', don't like it. Did not like. French Montana's not a good rapper.
Ain't worry about nothing.
No, dude.
Ain't worry about nothing.
This one song. It does not make it out.
No, there's like 4 singles on that.
Oh, God, don't. Leave it. Let it be. All right. My point is, French Montana. I don't know who's really checking for French Montana in 2024.
The wildest thing is fighting an OG rapper, because Busta isn't washed. He just has like a song with Coil Ray. But
that new album,
no, it wasn't great. But
I knew what he was doing. Shaheem told me what he was doing. He's like, oh, he's making like a party album. And I was like, is he? And I listened to it, and I was like, ooh.
This ain't for me.
Nah, I know who this is for.
But
not me.
Bus ain't washed. But you fight an OG rapper at arguably a washed rapper's album release party. That doesn't say much for you. Right, you ain't catch him at like OVO Fest.
No.
Or something cool.
Like out there with the homies. Like Busta's like, what are you doing there?
Yeah, that's the key.
Like, what's going on?
Let alone why you fighting. Why are you there? Like, this is where you're hoping your music is gonna pop off?
What y'all gonna do? Y'all gonna fight Redman next? That's
nobody fighting Redman.
I mean, somebody gonna try it. These kids, they just try anything. That's weak.
It's worse when you fight a man at a 7-on-7 football tournament, and this man happens to be 6'5", 260 pounds, and a former NFL MVP.
Y'all watch too much TV. Y'all think Cam Newton ain't that big?
They saw this man wear an ascot and the fucking cartoon villain hats. It was like, you know what? I think I could test this, man.
Yo, I saw Cam on Radio Row for Super Bowl week, and I was like, I see how you got all them touchdowns inside the red zone.
He built like Francis Ngannou.
Like, he's huge. Like, he is huge. Yes,
ginormous.
He dresses ridiculous, but that's no means to fight the man.
If I'm that big, I'm dressing however I want.
And again, it's, I'm too old to fight. So it's like, I just have no interest in, because what am I getting out of this, right? So I want to know, like, what did y'all think y'all were going to get out of Cam Newton?
Fisticuffs. The two of the 7 guys who got beat up, I guess they were the coaches, and they were just tired. Cam was talking shit when one of the teams was balling out. So the coaches got mad, tried to jump them, and were labeled children because they're grown-ass people. They were just 5'10", and they're
getting slung up.
Yeah, they look like tiny men. Cam didn't even tilt his top hat. It never moved.
It didn't move.
It looked like it was just connected to his head. But he's flinging them around. The 2 guys, of course, you do what everyone does. They went on a podcast.
Of course they did.
To talk about it and talk about how they were the victims.
You listen to this shit?
Oh, I saw a social clip. Who the fuck? Think I'm just out here listening to everyone's 2-hour-long podcast?
I'm not interested. Like, yo, I got my ass whooped by Cam Newton. Here's my story. But I don't care.
I'm on the socials. No, I watched a 30-second podcast clip, and thankfully they chopped it together. I think the guys are clowns. No, I'm not listening to these guys. One, they took the ass whooping. There ain't nothing you got to tell me. You're going to detail how you got your ass whooped by a gigantic 8-year NFL veteran? No, I don't care.
An NFL MVP.
NFL MVP. Yeah, the funniest shit, I think Kaz said it. It was like, yo, Cam Newton won a national championship with one person on his offense that went to the NFL and one defensive player that went to the NFL. That's it. And he led his team to a national championship. He was like, this guy is used to doing everything himself. That's the guy you want to jump?
Yeah, man.
Like, nah, you fucked up.
You leave Cam Newton alone. Y'all like, man.
That's a freak of nature.
If you want to fight him over anything, fight him over the text that he uses on Instagram. I can't figure out how to get that shit.
I don't know. Like the slashes?
Yo, so years ago, I was working at Genius and I got a commission to do these stories with Under Armour. And I had to do profiles on like Anthony Joshua, Cam Newton, Misty Copeland, and somebody else. And I got to talk to like different people. And I was like, we couldn't get Cam on the phone. And I was like, they was like, what are you going to ask him? I was like, there's only one thing I want to know. I didn't know how he gets this text to look like this. And why does he do this? Like, I was like, why does he? This is the only maddening thing to me about Cam Newton.
That's a MySpace level coding type shit.
Yeah, I was like, what genius level social media shit are you doing? Teach somebody this shit.
I get paid for a living to do social media. I couldn't tell you how to do that shit.
Yo, every time I see it, I get like, and it was one part in the story where I had to like quote something, and I was like, I can't copy and paste this wingdings ass shit. Like, I don't know what this. It's wingdings. You remember the wingdings?
Yeah, like how the fuck do you get this spawn?
Everybody knows wingdings. If you don't know wingdings, if you never turned in your report with wingdings and said, I don't know what happened, then you don't know shit about computers.
Yeah, you're not old enough for this pod, bro.
No, like, man. It's like, I remember in college, it was like Courier New, and I was like, oh, man. Double space?
Single
space. Like, God damn it. It's late at night.
You don't know how I hit that 2.5?
Man.
I'd be like, they can't fucking tell the difference.
Nah, send
2.5?
Send it in wingdings.
Mad indentation.
Nah, you sent it in wingdings. The teachers didn't know any better. And it's like, what happened? I was like, I don't know. Gave me time. Cam Newton sends social media messages in wingdings. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm not fighting Cam. People don't give a fuck nowadays. And Cam's not old enough to not want to fight anymore.
I mean, Cam's a grown man, and it's just like.
But people don't know he's still relatively young. Yeah, he just stopped playing.
Yeah, he's not a kid. No, he's not an old ass man.
No,
either.
Like he's not 40 something.
He ain't Cat Williams.
I think Cam is my age.
Like Cam's in his mid-30s.
Yeah, and wildly athletic still.
Like look at him.
Cam Newton is 34 years old.
Damn, he's still young. It's also crazy
about to turn 35.
How short the career of an NFL player is.
Grand opening, grand close.
Like you be like, oh man, my career's over, and you be like, I have all this life left to live.
And
what do I do now?
He made that bag already too.
Oh yeah, he made that bag.
He made that bag. So at least it's not like he didn't get his bag while he was in. No. He made that bag. But yeah, it's quick. RG3 is on TV, talking wildness, professing his love for his new wife. Every so often.
Every now and then, Robert Griffin III will be on the broadcast and be like, I can still make that pass. Like, Robert, stop.
You got no knees, my brother.
Ain't nobody bring your ass back to the league.
He's 34 years old, though.
I know.
So I get it. When you only 34, I can do that.
Everybody that says the same thing. It's like, man, when you're 30, it's your watch. And you turn 30, you be like, oh, my God, I'm still here. I got another 40, 50 years left on this planet. What am I going to do now?
LeBron jumping out the gym still.
It's crazy watching 39-year-old LeBron James just destroying people.
Every bone in my body just aches watching.
It's unbelievable what that man does. But
yeah, I did a fucking box jump at the gym the other day. Hit the ground, ankles and knees. You just hear crack.
Yeah, see,
like it was all bad. I was like, yo, that's a lot of weight on the knees.
All that being said, leave Cam Newton alone. Just find out how he gets his wing to work.
Don't fight professional athletes.
No, that's enough.
If you are not a professional athlete, do not fight other professional athletes.
Like, I watch All the Smoke from time to time, and I listen to Steven Jackson tell these stories. I'm like, oh, my God. This guy's a maniac.
Yeah. They were rolling with guns in the car. They were wilding out.
Every time Steven Jackson tells a story, I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Crazy thing is, and this is an aside, like Gilbert Arenas has crazy stories. My pops met his pops, right, at the same casino. And my pops told his pops what I did. This is years ago. This is in the middle with his baby mama was on Basketball Wives.
Okay, yeah.
He was like fresh out the league, wasn't doing anything. And his pops called me and was like, I got some stories to tell you about my son. And I was like, I don't feel comfortable with this. Let's get your son on the phone. And for whatever reason, it didn't happen. But now that I hear when Gilbert tells these stories and when I hear when Steven Jackson tells these stories, like, oh my God, you guys are criminals. Like, you guys are nuts. Like to
be fair, you give like a 21, 22-year-old kid like $30 million.
I mean,
and he just wants to do hood rat shit with his friends.
I was around like Steven Jackson, obviously from Vegas. We did a documentary with him and all that stuff. So I got to hang out with him. I did Paul George's documentary for All-Star Weekend. Spent the weekend in Houston with Paul George and his crew. And it wasn't like that.
I thought of you the other day in that story.
What?
Google gave me an alert, or on my Google like main page. Luau Deng.
Oh yeah,
made $200 million in his career.
Mm-hmm.
He's now worth $350 due to smart investments. I was like, this motherfucker wasn't spending anything. Dre tells me all the time. He's picking up money in the club.
Yeah, picking up money in the club. I was like, for real? Meanwhile, Rashard Lewis, Von Miller, who was still in the league.
Von plays for Buffalo.
Yes, Von Miller was at the club. Rashard Lewis, who was not in the league, and Luau Deng, who was not in the league, and those two are behind us throwing money. I was like, I ain't doing that shit.
I ain't doing that shit.
And
nope.
There's money everywhere. And I was like, and I'm like, I don't play in the league. I'm broke. And I want to pick up this money. But what I look like picking up this money? Ain't nobody else doing it. My wife and my sister-in-law and my friend Tanel were all standing there.
Like, you better than me.
$20 bill landed on my shoulder. And Luau Deng said, took that shit off my shoulder, put it in his pocket, said, get money, my brother. And I said, go, y'all pick up this goddamn money now. We picked up, and it was a lesson learned too, because I didn't pick up any money because I was still like trying to be cool and shit. I let my wife and then pick up the money. I was like, man, we're rich, and it was like, it's like $800 in like ones. Like there was money everywhere. I mean, I kid you not. So we leave the club. God damn, I can't do none of this shit anymore. No. We leave the club. It's like 4 a.m. My boy Anthony is face planted on the floor drunk. Like that's how drunk he is. So he got no money.
My type of club.
Like, yeah, I mean, we had bottle. Like Lou, the thing about Lou was he calls me at 10 and he's like, we're gonna be at the club at 11:45. I was like, who the fuck goes to the club in Vegas at 11:45? He's like, I got a table.
Yeah.
He's like, pull up. I was like, all right, cool. It's Memorial Day weekend also. So everybody's at the club.
Everybody outside.
We weren't Trist? I can't remember where the fuck we were at. We pull up and they got the table and there's these wild Samoan cats. They like looked like the bloodline. It was to the right of us. Boy, they threw so much money. They were
ones up.
Like our table, and this is Luau's an NBA All-Star, right? With the Bulls. Like he's got at this table front and center, and we're there, and I'm like, this is cool. And Rashard Lewis, who was an NBA All-Star, I don't think he was that particular season, but he got that big bag from Orlando.
Yeah. That Orlando money was stupid.
He's right behind us. Von Miller just got in the league. Got his glasses on, and I remember it's like, who's that nerd over there? And I was like, that's Von Miller.
Damn shame. Me and him have similar glasses.
And like the night starts, cool. DJ's playing music. Like, we don't got a bunch of girls at our table. It's like Luau and his brother and his homies. And it's like us and, my wife and my sister-in-law and like a couple other girls. And, everybody's chilling. Everybody's not at Rashad's table yet. Vaughn got a few girls. But these bloodline motherfuckers are all right. They had the money gun. Just shoot money in the air. And I'm like,
why do you throw money in a normal club?
I don't know. There were no strippers.
There's no stripper.
Nothing was happening.
Who's supposed to get this money?
They played like, I don't know what they played. Like something. 3 6 Mafia, and they were like, yeah, and they would just start shooting money in the air. Then, as they're shooting money in the air, which is only on their side of the room, which is like, I'm like jealous. I'm like, look at all this money that's just landing back at their table. They have a bottle. I don't know what we had a bottle of. Something simple, because Lou doesn't spend a lot of money. We had something simple. We had like maybe Goose or some shit like that. These dudes had the Magnum bottle of whatever it was. I'm standing at the edge of the table, and I look over, and one of the bloodline dudes is like, my brother, check it out. Y'all want some? And I'm like, I don't know, like table etiquette with rich people. I'm like, do I take the bottle from this dude? And he's like, man, give me your glass. He just pours up everybody a glass. He's like, I got more liquor than I know what to do with. Fuck it. We're all drinking.
That's me every time I get a table at a club. Because I can't drink. I'm just handing it to the people in the back who are like normal people, not even other people in booths, which I think is acceptable. I hang out the back of the booth and try giving it to like normal people and having shots. Security does not like that, by the way.
Yeah, it was just crazy because we were in like the super duper VIP section, and these dudes are just like, and I'm like, I don't want to insult Luau. I was like, yeah, we got a table, but they got a better bottle of what I don't remember what it was, and I was just like, fuck it.
Those Magnum bottles are shitty too, by the way. They sit there forever. Got a Magnum bottle of champagne once because like a DJ at Light Nightclub was like close friends, like with my best friend. So my best friend was a photographer for him and like that whole crew. So we went. They gave him the Magnum bottle. That shit tasted horrible. It tasted like it was cooked.
Yeah,
this giant bottle of champagne, and we like
that's bad.
Just started pouring it on chicks off the side of the stage,
but
damn near drowned them.
So yeah. Anyway, the bloodline's throwing money in the air. And I felt like Rashard Lewis was getting intimidated at that point. Because Rashard, he stands up on the couch, and he's like...
He did not recognize his tribal chief?
Nah, he stood up on the couch, had his arms spread up. And again, like, Luau's got like a blazer on.
Why am I picturing Rashard Lewis to go, whoa, just with his arms up.
But he stands up, his table's like right above us, and then the bands come out, and he's just like slinging money. Wow, money's flying in the air. And I was like, he wants to compete with the bloodline.
There's no strippers.
Not a stripper in sight. There's women, no strippers. And money's just flying
Those
around.
Are bottle rats. You don't need money to throw.
No, not at all.
Rats.
Not at all. And I'm standing here like, now I'm confused because I'm like, Rashard doesn't want to be outdone, so he's doing money. Von Miller's like, I just got in the league, so my rookie contract, fine. I could throw some. Yeah. He's throwing money. And Luau's just standing there, and he's like, this is stupid.
We were watching, I think it was ROH. Maybe we just went to wrestling, and I bounced on Tama Tonga's main event.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Who's now in the E, going to the WWE, I guess, whatever. But I bounced on his main event because I put in with my cousin on the table, wherever the fuck my cousin wanted to go. I don't know, September or some shit. And Rick Ross was performing. So he's like, yo, the guy's giving us an extra table. It's one of those, like, where, you know, you got the rows of tables at the outside.
Yeah.
And then there's, like, a section within that. So my cousin's hyped because we got the section within that. And it's him, his wife, all his wife's friends, and then me and Elena. So we would go there, and it's like a couple of dudes came from New York and my cousin. So it was like 4 or 5 guys, and then like all the girls around. And then literally next to us, there was a table of 2 dudes, and they're just ordering bottles. Elena's like, I was like, yeah, well, you got to have a minimum. So you got to spend the dough when you're here.
Yeah.
She's like, what are you going to do with all those drinks? Oh, they'll be fine. And she was like, oh, okay. And then, like, girls came and was like, oh, okay. Like, their friends came. Like, no. Those are just bottle rats. Like, guys come to the club, buy these bottles, and then the girls flock to just drink free liquor.
Yep.
And guys literally came in here. Those dudes spent 4 or 5 G's in just hopes that bottle rats flock to their section, drank liquor. And I promise you, I shit you not, by the end of the night, those 2 guys are there by themselves, all the bottle rats left.
See, that's crazy. So, like,
I'll be damned.
All to say, like, the Memorial Day weekend thing was nobody fought. There's just a bunch of money flying around. Nobody fought. We had no fights in the club that night.
It was money.
It was money. Everybody had a good time.
It's ridiculous to throw money when there's not strippers around.
Every now and then, some dude try to creep in our table, and Lou was like, no, don't know him. Get out. And I was like, all right, cool. He's like, hey, man, fuck you. I watch you play for the... I was like, come on, bro. Like,
what does that mean?
You don't get anything. So, on the other side of this is, you know, I've had tables comp before.
Of course.
Like, I've never paid for a table. Never have, never will. I'm too old for this shit now.
My cousin's a weirdo. I had to throw in money.
You did it for a family member. It was what it was. But
it was better when we went with Biggie into the Zone party, which was great. Yeah. That's when I was like, no, Dre's too old for this shit.
That's my last one.
And I was like, Dre's too old. It's not your last one, because if they comped another one, like, we'd probably go, and you'd be like, all right, cool. You leave a little early. That was your last time where you stayed. Like, we were outside. Like, we were outside. We were there until like 4, because I think he went straight to the airport.
No.
Because
E left with me. I took him back to his hotel.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that night, because
Lord knows what time Cobb left.
Oh man, Ben Baby was with us too.
Yeah, Ben Baby went to the airport.
He went to the airport.
Yeah,
because
straight caught the flight to Houston for the Cincy game.
That was, what fight was that?
Canelo.
So yeah, I remember being at the bar, and like Frank, who works with Eddie, and Tom, who had just about sport news, was like, don't go home, come to the club. And I was like, no. Going home.
Oh yeah, we're at the Circle Bar.
Yeah, we're all at the Circle Bar. Frank texts me, and he's like, Eddie is with Tom, and he's like, come through and bring whoever you want. And I was like, all right, y'all want to go to the club? And he's standing there, and I'm like, I know you don't do any of this, but
do none of that.
You never get to do this one again.
Out until 4 a.m. sober.
Bruh, we
just laughing.
It was like midnight when we got there.
Yeah.
Was Carissa there too?
Carissa was there.
My God. And I remember getting there, and I remember quickly realizing, like, this ain't for me. Like,
it was EDM and random, like, 80s rock classics.
It was wild, because Cop was having a blast. Like, Cop, he looked like a commercial
for Miami.
Where they like dumping water on their heads and jumping up and down. And I just remember looking at him and like, he's having a blast. And Ben Baby, I was like, have you never been in this situation before? Because he's having a blast.
Oh, he's loving it.
And the waitress just like, I got Ace of Spades. And I was like, that's all that I want right now.
Damn shame, because they brought those tequila bottles out.
Oh, we had that.
The giant bottles of tequila, which, usually they're white and blue, but we had like a whole different color.
Yeah.
Which I think these shits were like $2,500 a piece. And I was like, there's 6 of us.
Yeah.
Maybe 7.
They wouldn't stop. Yo,
why are you bringing out full bottles of tequila?
As this is happening, so we get there. Tom left when we got there. I saw him for like 3 minutes, and I said, what's up to Eddie? And Eddie was like, oh, Tom just left. We're just going to keep sending shit to the table. I was like,
Eddie's like, yo, it's just on his tab.
Yeah, he was like, we'll just keep sending shit. He was like, where are you at? And I'm like, I'm at the table over here. Are you having a good time? And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not having a good time. I'm ready to go. This club is back. But they kept sending those bottles. And I remember the waitress was just like, we got you got like 3 bottles of Ace of Spades. And I was like, oh. And they just kept pouring, and the tequila came. And I was like, oh, my God. I was like, oh, and all I'm doing at this point is like, I'm ready to go, but
it's 7 of us. There's 7 bottles. And if listeners, this Patreon, if y'all never had a drink with me or we haven't gone out drinking, we should probably change that if you guys are in Vegas. But my one rule when going out for drinks is I do not leave liquor at the table.
See,
I refuse. I do not do it. I don't care if I pay for it, if it's free. I don't care. Liquor is not left on the table. I will chug liquor that is on the table to make sure that shit is gone. Or I'm taking a doggy bag. I don't even care if they give it to me. So I'm walking out with 2 bottles in my hand like I'm Dame Dash in the fucking Jay-Z video. Like I'm Big Pimpin' on a boat like this. Like I'm not leaving liquor at the table. So they kept bringing bottles, and I was like, fuck, I don't even drink tequila. But I got to figure it out.
That was a night.
I had to drink my weight that night.
There's a picture that E still has in his phone. I don't know where it is.
I think his phone.
He thinks it's the funniest picture ever. It's a video and a picture. The club is going crazy. The confetti's going down. And he does like this.
Like angels?
Yeah, it was all kinds of like aerial gymnasts and all this shit. Yeah. Liquor is flowing. He's panning through the table. There's all these people having a good time. And it settles on me. And it's like an over-the-shoulder look at me. Just I had my hand on my face. I wasn't moving.
Just a curmudgeon in the club.
And that fool put that on his IG story. I was like, you son of a bitch. He was like, this is Dre having fun. And I was like, you fucking dick. But it was just like, it was late. We had a long day. And I was just like, man, this ain't.
I'm trying to figure out why you throw money in the club with no strippers.
I don't know. People like to flex. And I found, but that night, back to the Memorial Day night, was the night that I found out, man, strippers, you have a hard time. Because we spent all this time picking up this money. And I was like, $800 between 4 of us? That's it? So I can imagine, like, you've been to strip clubs where they have the garbage bags.
Yes.
And I was like, that's smart. They start sweeping that shit in. But before that, where are you putting this money?
I went to a strip club with a guy. What the fuck was I with? I don't know. Probably executives from somewhere because executives are fucking wild. So end up at the strip club late in the night. Maybe it was before then. I don't know. Some music people, I think. But strip club, so usually people throw money, you make it rain, blah, blah. They bring it out. We have a make it rain machine. Put how much you want, make it rain on stage. And it just blows from the ceiling. Drops the money on the stripper on the pole. They're like, oh my God. Person puts 2 G's in that shit. They go crazy. The whole club go crazy. Nobody fucking knows this is you.
Yeah, no.
You just automated the whole thing.
I'm writing my name on all my money.
What?
You gonna know who the fuck I am.
You bring me every single bill. I don't want hundreds. I don't want 20s. You bring me dollar bills in 2000, and I don't give a fuck how long it's taking me to throw this. Everybody know I'm throwing it.
I mean, if you do it with me, you gonna get Dre dollars like Okada dollars.
Yeah.
You gonna have my face on it. You can't spend this shit.
Usher did that shit at Sapphires.
That's smart. Because look, it's fun. Yeah. And then you be like, oh, but I won.
Yep. They looked at it. It was just Usher's face on the dollars.
Yeah.
They was like, no, just kidding. I'm bringing the real money.
Yeah, no, he's not.
No, I don't think he did.
That's smart.
No, he did that shit like 2 years ago. No, my pet peeve. So I went to the strip club in Atlanta. Love the strip clubs. Magic City is what it's cracked up to be. So went to Magic City. Had a bus. Watched like Monday Night Football in there once. Stayed. Watched strippers. It was great. Of course I ate.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
Did you have milk too?
Of course I did.
Of course you did.
Yes. The wings, lemon pepper wet, fire. I stayed long enough, yes, to have dessert. Phenomenal brownie. Cup of milk on the rocks.
You're doing too
delicious. So I say that to say I was at the bar because I was eating. They have like the bar there, and then they have seating. Then they have VIP area, which is very small in Magic City. It's like 4 booths up on like this fucking little elevated thing. It's probably the whole club is like the size of this fucking studio. It's tiny. So elevated section, whatever. The rapper dudes come in at like 12:30, 1 o'clock. Even on Monday. They come in, they take their seats up there, cool. And I'm just observing, and the girls are doing their tricks on the pole, but I've been here for a while. So I'm watching the dudes. One thing I never understood is they're not throwing money on stage with the girls dancing. As soon as they got to the booths, 3 girls went up there, and the guys are just throwing money in their booth on the floor and at the butt cheeks of the strippers in their booth. And they got you know, like buckets of beer. They brought the singles in those like metal bucket shits. And they're just taking handfuls of singles, just throwing it. Like cross-body, throwing it at cheeks. Wow. It just hit the cheeks and it explodes like confetti. And they just did this for an hour and a half. No lap dances. The girls just put cheeks in their face, hit the cheeks with money. Different songs come on. They rap the song. Cheeks of money. I was like, how's this fucking fun in a strip club?
Yeah, I'm too old. There's no way.
You're never too old for a strip club.
No.
You just have to have proper strip club etiquette. You can't go in there like a young kid, wet behind the ears, don't know what the fuck you're doing with all the money. And you obviously can't go in there like a rapper, throwing money at cheeks willy-nilly without getting anything for your money.
I don't think that's thrilling, right? Like, see, I don't want to be at the strip club thinking about things I need to do when I get home.
You cannot think about chores and paying bills. Like you can't grab like
did I put
a handful of money and just be like, bah, damn, I could have done something better with it. Like you're just looking at it like
I don't have that kind of time in my life anymore.
Like, I could have bought GTA with that money.
I feel guilty whenever I do anything that isn't productive. So like me being at a strip club throwing money at somebody's butt cheeks, I'd immediately be like, this doesn't make any sense.
It's productive.
That's not productive because what am I getting out of this?
Usually networking, depending on who you're there
with.
Who
am I networking with?
A lot of good deals that happen at strip clubs. Strip clubs and golf courses.
Golf courses, yes, it's quiet. Strip clubs are loud. Like, you know what? It's my little pet peeve.
Key is, and by the way, the crux of the both, you're drunk at both places. So that's why deals get done. You drink a shitload at the golf course. You drink a shitload at a strip club. It just depending, is it a day meeting or a night meeting?
I just know, growing up, I used to watch the club on TV, and I was like, man, a lot of stuff gets done in the club.
Can't wait to go to the club.
Can't wait to go. They all talking, having full-ass conversations, and a good time. I remember I went to the club, and I was like, I can't hear shit. What's going on? This music's too loud. Nobody's talking.
Yeah, regular club, nah.
Like, oh, my God. I used to get so frustrated watching movies, and I'm like, yo, everybody's, like, at the table. I remember watching like The Brothers or whatever black movie it was, and I was like, they're all like just talking. And I was like, I can't wait to do that when I get older. I went and got to the club. I was like, I can't hear anything you're saying, dog. What's the point?
I can hear in the strip club. Strip club, I had some of my best conversations in life in the strip club.
See, I don't like having long conversations when I have to fight music and other things trying to get my attention.
Yeah, it's not horrible. Good conversations in the strip club. Regular clubs, no. Regular clubs now are also like, if you don't got a table, why are you going?
Oh,
like, no one dances in clubs anymore.
No, I don't.
Are there dance floors?
Yeah, there's a dance floor and people just stand there.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think people just stand there. My feet hurt looking at them.
I told you when we first started this podcast, I was done with clubs. Like the night y'all went out, like, Mayweather-Pacquiao night, I was like, I'm going home.
Yep.
People thought I was nuts. I was like, man, I
was like 2 months into this podcast.
Yeah.
9 years ago.
Damn, yeah.
We had a table.
And I was like, I ain't going.
Yeah.
And you thought I was nuts. I have zero
Our table
interest.
was right next to the San Francisco 49ers, too.
What that?
Fucked up. I don't know.
What they gonna do? Play a game for me?
No. It's a team.
They can't win the Super Bowl while I'm sitting there. What do I care?
I don't know.
See,
I talk stats or something. One of them almost tried to take the girl I was with. You could have distracted
I
her.
don't care about none of that. Like I don't care. I've been to enough clubs in my life. I've seen a lot working in this industry. When people be like, "Yo, let's go to the club," and I'm like, "Just go to the club? You got a table? No. Let's just go to
No, God, no.
Mm-mm. Like it starts with, I ain't standing in line. Like that's the first place that we start right there. You got to stand in line? No. Oh, bitch, I ain't going. Mm-mm. Next, do I got a place to sit? No, I'm not going. I don't do any of that. And that was, you called me spoiled back then.
Oh, you're super spoiled. But I'm not waiting in line either.
Yeah, what? I ain't got time for that.
No.
What the hell am I waiting in line for? The last time I waited in line, I remember the day. Is Just Blaze was having a nightclub. Just Blaze at the club. And I was cool with Just Blaze. And I texted him. And he was like, yo, come through. My set's at like 1. Come through a little bit early. And just tell the person, Just Blaze. It's Vegas. I'm not thinking. I get to the club. Yo, I know Just Blaze. I don't know no Just Blaze. Like, you motherfucker. Stand in line. Just is like, don't leave. And I'm like, bitch, I'm leaving. Like, I stood in line. And it was like 40 minutes. And my wife was with me. One of the few, I don't always go to the club with my wife, but she happened to be there. I was like, it's Just Blaze. We got a table. 40 minutes go by. Now I'm getting mad because the dude's still acting like he don't know me. And I told my wife that day, I'm never standing in line for a club again. I have never stood in line ever again. Y'all can kiss my ass.
You don't stand in line for clubs, but you stand on business. You ain't doing it again.
Nah, never again. Fuck all.
And made a promise to itself.
Yep.
A pact. Yeah, nah, it's wild. But listen, we don't need to be in club because obviously people start fights with old people like us. So there's no need to be in the club. These young whippersnappers got no coof.
No coof.
Yeah, don't respect their elders. And let this be a sign, though, now that we talked about it, old people will whoop your ass, though. Because in both of those instances, those young people had no clue what was going on. They took an ass whooping and went viral on the wrong end of things. Yep. Young people, you cannot throw hands. Respect your elders or get the paws put on.
And figure out what you're fighting for.
They ain't fighting for nothing. Yeah. They don't got none.
If you
clout.
If you're throwing money at the club and you're like, I'm going to take his money. All right, I can understand that. You stupid. You throwing money around. But if you fighting for nothing, you dumb.
For what would have been a demo tape in 93. Now it's, you didn't follow me on Instagram.
Yeah. Oh, you don't follow me on TikTok? Let's fight. What?
and put it on TikTok.
An NFL player embarrassed me in football. Yeah, of course he did.
Cloud is cloud, my man. So, yeah, it's interesting. Hopefully you guys enjoyed a couple old head stories while we went through that. Next week, we're back talking hip-hop on our Patreon episode. We appreciate you all. Spread the word. Tell people where they can watch us, find us, to join the Patreon. These are always, always super fun. Check out our normal shows where you guys can also watch them here on Patreon. But check those out this week: boxing, pro wrestling, and MMA. AEW has a pay-per-view coming up. We're recapping WWE pay-per-view. So that's going to be really fun. We appreciate you all. Everyone here at Blue Wire Studios, thank you guys. You guys are the best. For myself, for the old man, Andreas and Kel. Until next time, we're out.
Peace.